The morning sun spilled across the marble floors of the Sapphire Crown Hotel, warm and golden, yet even that brightness could not soften the tension that rippled through the lobby. Every employee, receptionist, servers, managers, shifted nervously whenever the elevator chimed. Because everyone knew who was coming down. Helena Marquet, the billionaire whose temper was as legendary as her empire. She was brilliant, powerful, and feared. And today, as she stepped out in her pristine white suit and cold expression, the entire staff instinctively looked away, scattering like birds sensing a storm. But at the far end of the dining hall, sitting quietly with a small sketchbook in front of him, was the only person who didn't flinch. A single dad named Rowan Hale, who had already learned in life that storms didn't always mean danger, sometimes they meant change. If you believe in kindness and second chances, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Grandma's book before the story continues. Your support truly keeps these stories alive. Rowan had come to the hotel as a temporary event coordinator, taking extra shifts to pay for his daughter Myra's school art program. His life had been a careful balance, work, parenting, and the weight of losing his wife 3 years earlier. He didn't have the luxury to fear difficult people. And he didn't judge easily either. So when Helena walked toward the table with the towering confidence and silent fury she carried everywhere, Rowan simply closed his sketchbook and looked up with calm eyes. To everyone's shock, he didn't stand to greet her or scramble to appease her like the others always did. He just nodded, as if acknowledging a regular client. It was the first moment in a long time where Helena did not see fear on someone's face, and it caught her completely off guard. The meeting was supposed to be a simple event planning consultation. But nothing about Helena was simple. She sat down sharply, her voice clipped, her expectations high, her dissatisfaction immediate. She criticized the floral samples, the color palettes, the seating plans, even the scent of the room. Rowan listened, patient and steady, never once snapping back. She threw the weight of her money at him like a weapon, but he refused to be crushed. Instead, he leaned in slightly and spoke softly, telling her that he understood pressure. That he understood pain disguised as perfectionism. At first, she scoffed. But something in his calmness began to chip at the walls around her. For the first time in years, Helena's voice faltered, not from anger, but from being seen outside. Daylight stretched warmly across the city skyline, but inside, Rowan could feel Helena fighting battles no one else cared to understand. There were rumors floating through the staff, stories of her losing her family young, of clawing her way to the top alone, of trust broken, and love abandoned. Rowan didn't need the details. He just sensed the loneliness. And slowly, as he asked her questions not about her money but about the meaning behind her event, Helena's armor began to slip. She admitted the event wasn't for clients or prestige, it was a memorial for the grandmother who had raised her. The only person who ever loved her without conditions. And now, planning something so emotional terrified her because she no longer knew how to be vulnerable without feeling weak. Rowan shared that Myra drew a picture of her late mother every morning before school, saying it helped her keep love close. Helena blinked hard at that, her eyes shining in a way she quickly tried to hide. No one ever spoke to her gently. No one ever let her feel without judgment. But Rowan did. And that alone shook her more deeply than she expected. The rude billionaire everyone avoided suddenly seemed human. Fragile, even. And Rowan treated that fragility not with pity, but with dignity. As the hours passed, they worked together in soft daylight spilling across the room, creating a memorial plan filled with warmth, color, and subtle details that reflected Helena's grandmother's legacy. Helena found herself smiling, small at first, then genuine. Her staff watched in awe. The woman who usually left bitterness in every hallway now moved with a softer presence, her voice steady, her shoulders lighter. And it was because a patient single dad showed her that being understood could heal more than power ever could. But the true turning point came when Myra arrived unexpectedly, carrying her sketchbook and looking for her father. When Helena saw the little girl, shy but bright-eyed, she froze. Myra offered her a small drawing, a bouquet of lilies, because Rowan told her lilies were Helena's grandmother's favorite. Helena's lips trembled as she accepted the drawing, and for the first time in decades, tears spilled freely down her cheeks. She didn't hide them. She didn't turn away. She let herself feel, and in that moment, every staff member watching realized the truth. Helena had never been cruel because she enjoyed it, she was cruel because she forgot how to be cared for. The memorial event took place under a clear, warm afternoon sky, sunlight scattering across the hotel's rooftop garden as guests gathered. Helena stood before them, speaking not as a billionaire but as a granddaughter, raw and sincere. Rowan watched from the back with Mira, proud of how far she had come in just a day. When her speech ended, she walked straight to Rowan, thanked him in a quiet, trembling voice, and told him he had given her something no amount of money ever had, permission to be human again.